Good morning and welcome to the original Loretta Brown Show here with Benny Mathers. Yay!
Stress-free zone.
The stress-free zone. I know, I could feel it. Look at it, it's just rippling across the room and out into people's homes and their cars. Just take a nice deep breath of that stress-free zone energy. I feel so much better.
See, it's that big deep
I
breath.
know, it is. I also realized on the way to the radio station this morning that I do this kind of thing where I connect with, my guides and angels and God and all that is. And I just say, I'm so grateful that you got me through traffic so easily. And I have to tell you, it was easy. It was easy. Yeah. It was just I got stopped at the door, but getting here was fine.
Yeah, that sounds like it's happened first time in a long time for you.
Yeah.
And this is so we're pretty secure as the building, but normally you can just come right in the main floor, come right up to the fifth floor, and then I let you in.
I blame it on my hairdo this morning, which
You're
looks like a haystack on top of my head. So for those of you people watching, hi.
A little suspicious there.
See how my headphones help hold it
camera.
down. I know, I love it.
If anyone wants to check it out, it's 1150kknw.com.
That's right. That's right.
It looks great.
Absolutely.
Looks great.
So this is the original Loretta Brown Show, radio to open the heart, heal the soul, and awaken the consciousness. And
Did you take out your rollers? Is that what it was? I think that's what it was. You took out your rollers.
I had finches in there.
So we were laughing just before, and I just recently read a story just before we came on the air. Someone was caught smuggling 70 live finches in their hair rollers from South Africa, and they were stopped at JFK. And I'm like, first of all, you said like how like there's so many, like, right, wouldn't you hear them? I'm like, I think you would see them. I mean, I've never heard of 70 rollers, and they're not like small. I mean, they're fairly large. So I don't know. And then
were
now
the rollers in her hair? Like she just had.
there's no didn't mention anything about that. I'm gonna assume so. Where else are you gonna put them?
I don't know. That's a lot of rollers on your head.
Yeah, they had them all, like each end was kind of like they had some mesh on it, so obviously the finches couldn't get out. But it's like we're also like, what do you do with all those finches after they come to our country? Is there like a habitat for them? I mean, like
I don't know, but I'm thinking about
free the finches.
Free the finches.
Free the finches.
I'm also thinking about the 12 days of Christmas. Is there a verse about 70 finches in my hair? I don't know.
On the 13th day of December, my true love gave to me
70 finches in hair rollers. Just in case you're wondering what to buy your loved ones this holiday season, we are full of ideas.
Yep. That's pretty good.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in. You're going to be glad you did from now on.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. And I've got a great guest, and we are going to talk about what to do during the stressful times of the holidays. So that's why we were starting out with a stress-free zone.
Smile, laugh, and breathe.
That's right.
Those are top three right there.
I think laughter is one of our biggest secret weapons.
Oh, and it burns more calories.
It does. It does. And drinking water. Yeah.
Right.
Laughing and drinking water.
A form of water.
Yes.
Right. I'm in that category.
Beverages.
Right.
Anyway, I'm the owner of Reiki Oasis, located right here in the greater Seattle area. We're going into our 24th year in business. You can find out about me, Loretta Brown, at thelorettabrown.show.com, at the KKNW site, and at ReikiOasis.com. So I'm all over the place, and just watch out. We have lots of good stuff coming up all the time. I have the end of the year prayer bundles, also called despachos. Every year at the end of the year, I do special releasing and calling in ceremonies, and they're very popular. So this year I will do them at 2 different nights, December 26th, which is a Wednesday, and December 27th, which is a Thursday at around 7:30 in the evening. Space is limited. If you want to come and do a proper little ceremony where you let go of all the energies of 2018, I feel like my hair got blown back this year, and you want to call in some good stuff for 2019, then go to schedule.reikioasis.com and pick one of those nights to come. And please sign up early because, like I said, they do fill up. and I have limited space. It's a very intimate, very special time that I spend with people that come. And they always have wonderful things that happen. So once again, the end of the year prayer bundles. The despachos will be Wednesday evening, December 26th, or Thursday evening, December 27th. I want to thank all my supporters for the show. I'm a listener-supported show. If you want to contribute to this airtime so you can hear wonderful guests like who I have today, then go to patreon.com/The Loretta Brown Show and become part of my Patreon family. I'm so appreciative to all of you. Now, a quick little check-in with astrology before I bring on my guest, because you're going to want to hear every word out of her mouth, I'm sure. And Benny, after 5 months in retrograde, Chiron just turned direct on December 9th at 27 degrees Pisces. This is the last time Chiron goes direct in Pisces, at least for the next 50 years.
So we give a round of applause for that.
Yes.
About time.
Thank
Move
you.
along. Move
Move along.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
See you in 50. Let's do it. Keep it going.
And on the same day, Chiron made a beautiful grand water trine with Mercury at 27 degrees Scorpio and with the North Node at 27 degrees Cancer. Yes, you heard 27 degrees 3 times. Wow. So let me explain it. Let me put it into simple English.
Let me explain something to you.
Let me explain.
Explain it.
27 degree triangle. Mercury is our mind. Uh-oh. So if Mercury goes retrograde, your mind goes backwards, cattywampus. And
Not a fan.
yeah, so Mercury is our mind, and it's either our master or our servant. Our mind is the manager of our life. We feed it with thoughts, feelings, and impressions. I hope it's got a good diet going on. Mercury processes them, and as a result, we feel in a certain way, and we act in a certain way. All of our feelings and actions and everything about us can be traced back to the mind. It can be traced back to Mercury. When we have a Mercury transit, our mind pays attention. What about Chiron? Chiron is also called the wounded healer. But Chiron is much more than that. Chiron orbits between Saturn, the last planet visible to the naked eye, and the last planet we can conceptualize with our mercurial mind, and Uranus, the first invisible planet, an archetype that our mind cannot grasp yet. So that's why Uranus is associated with chaos and surprises. It's because it's sort of invisible. We don't really understand it, and we fear it. And because it's kind of invisible, it brings those unexpected changes. Chiron is the missing link between Saturn, or that which we can conceptualize, and Uranus, that which is invisible to the naked eye. And so there's that space in there, and it represents our opportunity to transcend our material limitations, to move beyond matter and time to something greater than our mind can even comprehend. Of course, this process is not always easy. It means awakening from the limited false reality we're programmed to live in. And at first, it can hurt. And that's why Chiron is the wounded healer. But after we embrace the pain, Chiron can open doors to places you can't even imagine. Chiron's symbol is the key. And Chiron is nothing else but the key to wholeness. The North Node represents our purpose in life, our potential to alter our karma, represented by the South Node, and change the course of our destiny. And what happens when these three powerful archetypes, Mercury, our mind, Chiron, our wholeness, and the North Node, our life's purpose, come together? Well, if there was only one contact between Chiron, our wholeness, and our life's purpose, the North Node, we might have missed the incredible opportunity of this transit. Because Mercury, our mind, is involved as well, we simply cannot miss it. So pay attention to the messages around you and inside, because your mind, your wholeness, and your life's purpose are all joining together at 27 degrees. Oh my goodness, anything could happen. Dream big and move forward. What message is so clear, so true, so important that you cannot ignore it anymore? Maybe you knew it all along, but you didn't pay enough attention to it. Not anymore. It's going to be brought into focus, and you have been handed the key to unlock it. The portal has been opened. Step in. Today could be the day that everything changes. Whew. I just want to get out there right now. I'm leaving the studio. I'm going to go out and open the portal. Okay, let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Open up the pearl.
Woo!
Go right through.
Right now for everybody. It's open. All right. Thank you for that, Benny. That was great. I can't think of a better segue into my guest today. My guest is Dr. Dravon James. She's an author, an inspirational speaker, a pharmacist, a mother, an actress in The Wire, and she's author of a great book called Freedom is Your Birthright, and she's the founder of Everyday Peace. She teaches and inspires others on how to utilize everything that shows up in their lives, such as that key from Chiron, the good, the bad, and everything in between, as stepping stones on the path to building the life of their dreams. And since this is such a time to dream, perfect day for her to be here. And she's here today to help provide tips on how to find peace each and every day, and especially for the special stresses that come to us all during this most wonderful time of the year. Welcome to the show, Dravon.
Thank you for having me. I am so honored. I was listening to everything that you were just saying, and I got to tell you, I was taking notes.
Good.
I'm like jotting down everything you said. Amazing. I'm so honored to be here with you all today.
Yeah, it's providential. You lined right up with the stars. Yeah. Hey.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because you are a star too. Hey, that's how it works. I got a question for you. You know, the title of your book is Freedom is Your Birthright. What do you mean by freedom?
Oh my goodness. And you kind of summed it up when you were talking. I'm like, oh my gosh, the technical terms and everything that you use. But basically, I'm talking about an internal freedom. And I want to make just a little distinction between the two, because when I hear freedom is your birthright, there's a part of me, the little child inside of me, that can point her finger wagging in my face and say, what about this? I can't do this when I want to, and I can't do that when I want to. So there are, we have these external things, and, we don't live in a world of chaos. We cannot travel the world with 27 finches in our hair rollers. That is a problem. We are not free to do that. So there are some external guidelines, but inside of us, it is the inside of us that opens up the external world to us. And we have to realize that every decision that we make on an internal level, we are free to define each experience, what it means, and the significance of it in our lives. We have that power. So I always go back to in the Garden of Eden, when God told, you can use anything that you want, any story that you want. This is just the story that I know.
Mm-hmm.
When God tells Adam, he puts something in front of him. He goes, name that. What's that? Oh, that's a cow. Well, name that. You call it what it is, and so it is that.
I wish
An
I
event is.
I wish I'd have
Go
been
ahead.
there to name the animals.
And here is the thing, in our own life today, I'm so drawn to your message today, because there are things happening in our own life today. And this Chiron that you spoke of, the wounded healer, right? Sounds almost, well, the wounded healer. You got to be wounded to heal, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the wound that we're so afraid of, myself included, or the affliction that we're so afraid of, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we are free to claim and name that experience, to have meaning beyond what it feels like in this moment. Always honoring what it feels like. It hurts. And given the choice, I wouldn't choose to hurt like this. I wouldn't choose to be so uncertain like this. I wouldn't choose to have all this what appears to be chaos in my life. No, I wouldn't choose that. But I am free to call this experience growth and development.
Oh, I like that. Growth and development. Um, so many of so many people, including my clients, come to me and they will be complaining about, things that have happened to them, and also, like that happened to me or that person did that to me, and I'm really hurting over here, and I don't know what to do about it. What kind of advice can you give people who are really stuck in that concept of victimhood or locked into anger, bitterness, hurt, things like that?
The first thing I want to say is that I honor them for being open enough to acknowledge to themselves, no matter at what level, uh, that this hurts. I have been hurt, right? Because we don't want to stuff that down and say that it didn't happen. It happened. It happened.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. It happened, but guess what? You're still here to talk about it. So we got opportunity. We got opportunity. It happened. You survived it. And you may still be feeling the pain of whatever scars it has left. But now we're in a very powerful position. We're in a very powerful position because whatever it was that happened, it didn't kill you. So we know that that thing is not more powerful than you because you're still here talking about it and maybe complaining about it and dwelling on it, but you're still here, which means that you have the victory. So let's use another V word. Let's transcend from victim to victor.
Mm.
Let's associate that word with you now. When you're not the victim of it, you have the victory over it. Even though you still may be experiencing the pain of it, the fallout, there may still be things going on. I don't know. You lost your job, now you lost your house, and you're losing it. And so there's fallout. There's things happening. All this happened because somebody did something that was unfair to you. Got it. Real life stuff. Real life stuff. Real painful stuff. But we still got to be honest about your position in the middle of what appears to be a storm. You are no longer the victim if you choose not to be. See,
Mm-hmm.
freedom is your birthright. You have a right to call yourself your I amness of the situation. I am the victor. I may not have it figured all out yet. I may not have it figured out, but the fact that I'm still figuring on it, I'm still thinking about it, contemplating the next move, lets you know that I'm still in a driver's position. Still in the driver's position, no matter what it was that I lost, or I think I lost, or you think you took from me, or the situation robbed me of. I'm still here. I claim myself victor. So that's the first step. That's the first step. You've got to fall in love with yourself. The victim role is an eternal role. It says that I'm powerless, and you're not. The fact that you're speaking about it, you got power. Because when you're speaking about it and someone's I'm telling you the story of what happens, and I have the victory, the power over how I'm going to tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
the speaker. I'm the teller of the truth now. So, and again, I am so big on people, feeling what you feel because you got to acknowledge it. You got to honor yourself and saying, boy, that hurt. That hurt. You cut me to the core when you did that. That hurt for this to happen to me when I'm doing all of this. You got to acknowledge that. Let yourself acknowledge it. I tell people you don't want to dwell there too long, but you're there while you're there. So give yourself a second message while you're there and you're licking your wounds and I talk about in my book, there's this odd place that's warm inside of us that feels comforted by that pain. It's odd. We can't really understand that.
Mm-hmm.
We tell that story over again, and there's a sense of, I don't know what that is, maybe oneness, because we know somebody else has pain too. But we don't want to stay there. So while we're feeling that, on the heels of that, say, but I am a victor. I have victory over this. I am, say those words. Let your ears hear those words come out of your mouth
I think
because
that's
you're,
I think that's a powerful point. The point that acknowledge how you're feeling, because so many people try to jump over that, or
yeah.
they don't attend to themselves because they're busy attending to everybody else. Or I quite often get people that come in and they're like, Loretta, I'm so angry at that person. I think I'm hating them and I can't do that and I have to forgive them and I have to be a good person and blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
if we don't acknowledge how we're feeling, it doesn't make us a bad person to feel what we're feeling. It just makes
Yeah.
us honest. This
Right.
is
And human.
and human. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
human. So you use everything you got inside of you to get where you're going. You use everything. These emotions, we didn't come down here and say, I think I'll take all happiness. I don't need any of that sadness. I'm definitely not going to take vengeance because that's not going to serve me. These things are here. And sometimes they jump on us and we have to wrestle with them. But in the wrestling with them, with the sadness and the anger that almost feels like hatred, right? We know that those emotions can be self-destructive. And so we got so many things on the outside that appear and act like they're enemies. We don't want to be an enemy to ourselves. And
Right.
when we come to ourselves with that type of honesty to say, you hurt me, but I refuse to hurt me because I love me.
That's a powerful statement. You hurt me, but I refuse to hurt me. I have I'm going to bring it down to practical application because I'm thinking about our talk about, the holidays, which we're going to get more into. But um, here's a situation, a life situation, and kind of just talk to it for a moment. So let's say that, you or I or one of my listeners has had a terrible falling out with a family member, and here's the holidays, and they have to get together with the family. How do we address this? How do we show up? What kind of advice can you give a person who is facing that kind of a thing?
Oh, that's the story for so many of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dealing with that family or pain, and then everyone wants you to show up and act as though nothing has happened.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I want to say is that, first of all, you got to acknowledge what you feel and realize that you have the freedom to show up or not to show up, but let's assume that you've made the decision that showing up is what you are going to do for
Mm-hmm.
whatever reasons that you have. Showing up is the lesser of the two of the evil options. Let's put it that way. So you're showing up. You're showing up. You've determined that you're going to show up. Now you got to have an intention. You got to have an intention. You know why you're showing up. Hopefully you do. Go through that process. Why am I doing this? Why am I subject? Maybe it's my mom and she's 80 years old and I want to be there for her. Whatever it is, whatever your reasons, no right or wrong, just whatever your why is for even putting your physical body in the same space with the offender, if you will. So you go through all that and you got that why and you're there and you're saying you're going. Before you go, know what your intentions are. What is it that you want to get out of this event, this dinner? What is it that you want to create? That's the proper way of saying this. What is the thing that you want to create in this space with this individual who has made you feel this way through their actions? Now you may not want to create directly with that person, but you're going to create something in the space. Joyful memories for your kids, maybe. Um, Reconnecting with another family member. I don't know what it could be, but you got to know what it is that you want to create. Maybe you just want to strengthen your resolve so that they can see your smiling faces, all those muscles that you're going to use to smile. And they can know that I may have been beaten, but I'm not broken.
Mm.
Whatever your intention is, know what it is that you intend to create. That is so very important. And it can be something really small. I've been in those situations where my only thing I want to create when I walk in the door is the power within me to know that I was not defeated, that I could walk through over that threshold and be at peace when I did.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it is that you want. So that's the first thing I would tell you. Notice what you want to create. And then remember that I talk a lot about getting better, not bitter.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Remember your intention when you get in that situation, because you know how it is. That emotion comes right up to the surface. You hear their voice, and sometimes it's hard for you to you're like, oh my gosh, you're in a rage.
Fire
Right? Am I
breathing
right?
dragon. Yeah. It's like whoosh. Yeah.
So you hear their voice and you can feel that. And I call that, my inner child. And, people call it their ego. But my little 2-year-old who wants to be happy, who lives inside of me, and she doesn't want to have to, fight dragons all day long, but she will.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Right. And when she does it in such a destructive manner that not only is she trying to fight the dragon, but by default, she's fighting me.
Mm.
Right. So I have to subdue her by knowing, hey, this is why we came. This is our intention. This is what we're going to create. And in this situation, wouldn't it be so good? Wouldn't it be so great if I got better? Because truly, isn't success the highest form of revenge for me to win? Right? Whatever it is, right? For me to just win my own peace of mind right here, And so now I can trick her, right? The little person inside of me, because now she thinks that, oh, we're fighting, but we're fighting in a different way now, aren't we? We're not going to fight against the energy of the person who's bringing the pain, and you're not going to default fight me. We're going to look for ways for me to be better, and that is with my voice. I tell my kids all this time and time again, I use it as my own practice at work. When in the company of someone who opposes you, speak first, smile first, and speak warmly first. That subdues fear.
Okay.
Don't wait for you to come. Hi, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Glad to see you here. Hope we can have a nice time.
Yes.
That's it. That's it. Because don't you really want to have a nice time? You may not be glad to see them here. That part may not be totally true right now because you don't understand that there's growth going on here.
Mm-hmm.
But truly, you are glad to see, because you are getting an opportunity to grow, to get better in this moment. So know what your intention is. Choose to focus on your intention, whether it's, and remembering why you are celebrating.
Right.
It's a holiday. What is it that you're celebrating about this holiday? What is it that you believe about this holiday? We all have our different beliefs, but you believe something. What is it why are you celebrating this day?
Yeah. So we're going to take a little station break. This is Loretta Brown. My guest today is Dr. Dravon James. We're talking about how to get through the holidays stress-free or stress-reduced. Her book is Freedom is Your Birthright, and we're going to open the lines when we come back. If you have some kind of an issue or a question about the holidays that you need some help with around how to function through it, give us a call at 425-373-5527 or 1-888-298-5569. And we'll be right back.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call. Energy is powerful. It's all around us, mysterious, full of potential. Directing positive, healing energy to raise your vibrational rate through Reiki can change your life. Reiki Master Loretta Brown has relieved stress, sadness, anger, and even helped clients lose weight, stop smoking, and end sleep disorders. Worldwide, people have sought out Reiki Oasis. If you want help with your dis-ease, visit ReikiOasis.com. Harness life's energy. Visit ReikiOasis.com today.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have anybody to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment. and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Alternative Talk 1150. We're on your radio at 1150 a.m. We're on your HD radio at 98.9 Channel 3.
So many ways to listen.
We're on the web at 1150kknw.com. Streaming live audio and video as well as MP3 archives of many of our shows.
So many ways to listen.
And now, we're on your smartphone or tablet. Download our free app in the Apple App Store or Google Play and take Alternative Talk 1150 anywhere you go.
So many ways to listen.
Radio with no added hormones or preservatives. All natural Alternative Talk, 1150 a.m.
Welcome back to the original Loretta Brown Show with my guest, Dr. Dravon James. Yay, freedom is your birthright. It is. And I think we're talking about inner freedom. Is that correct, Dravon?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking about inner freedom, but is our inner world creates our outer world. It truly is, we have to take some responsibility for our outer world more than what we probably think we do, is that we create this inner freedom and we start taking responsibility for what we're producing. And we soon see, oh my gosh, I'm out picturing what I really want.
Yeah.
So we got that freedom from the inside out is so important.
Can you talk a little bit about resistance, or I'm going to call it inner rebellion? I have a lot of people coming to me who are, the holidays are so stressful. It's like, look, I have to buy presents for people I don't even like. I don't even know them, what they want. And I'm resisting all of this. One person came in the other day and said, we haven't decorated our house for, 10 years or whatever. And all of a sudden, her mate wants to decorate the house, and she goes, why? Right? So, so can you talk a little bit about how can we get through this sort of resistance or this, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put all those lights up, but, I have to do it. Or, like I said, buying presents for people we don't know or like.
Yeah, there's a lot of stress during this holiday season, and a lot of it is around things that we'd rather not do. You'd rather not. So I think you got to really, first of all, have that stern adult talk with yourself about what you're going to do. Hopefully, you're not going to overspend for the sake of saving face.
Yeah.
That's one of our biggest problems, and I think our country is that, we tend to think a gift is a material possession. Gift is the highest form of love sometime, and we don't want to be the person who doesn't buy something because people will think that we don't have the money, or maybe they'll think we do have the money and we're too cheap, what have you. So be honest about what you're going to do financially. Set a financial limit on what you're going to spend across the board, so that you don't wake up on January 2nd and think, oh my gosh, in November of 2018, I was so much further ahead, and it took me less than 60 days, and I threw myself even deeper in a hole. Don't be that person.
Yeah, and I want you to finish talking, but I'm also thinking, a conversation I had with one of my clients too about this idea of financial competition, or those, like my sister is so much wealthier than I am, and their presents are going to outshine mine, that kind of an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is painful stuff to talk about sometimes, but we really got to be the adults that we hope our children will be, or are currently being. Be that adult now to say, would be nice if I could buy you a Rolex for Christmas. Can't do that. but I can love you. I can love on you. I can send my highest thoughts towards you in a beautiful card, maybe a song and a smile and a pie. Just be honest, because I really don't want any of us to wake up on January 2nd and spend 2019 trying to dig out of debt from gifts that won't even be, it's just stuff. It won't be valued. By the time Valentine's Day comes along in February, it'll be a whole nother slew of spending. So really do yourself a favor and set those financial limits, and be in that space, be in that space, and whether anybody else in your family or your tribe agrees with it, you be the adult over you and say, this is where I am. And I guarantee you, January 2nd, you'll be the person who wakes up and says, yay, I feel good about that. But then these other things that come along, the shopping, the cooking, the decorating, whew, the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Do your best to delegate.
Mm.
And then look at these chores. I say this all the time. Look at chores as relationship building opportunities. So,
Ah.
you know what I mean? Relationship building
Yes.
opportunities. I am not going to decorate that entire house nor tree by myself. But I would feel okay with turning on some Christmas music and getting a nice vibe going and inviting those that I share space with. Hey, let's set aside an hour or two to do this together. And we can talk and get reacquainted with each other, because 2018 has been a whirlwind for most of us. And stuff has been happening, and I've been trying to check in with you, and I know you've been trying to check in with me, but I love you. Let's spend this time together. You want to decorate the house? You want to decorate the tree? I want to build a relationship with you. I got 2 hours on whatever day. Can we do it then?
Mm.
Turn those chores into relationship building opportunities, whether it's shopping in the mall in the long lines. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
And don't use that time to frustrate yourself. If you've decided that you're going to be out there and you're going to be in the mall and you're going to be shopping, and you may be an extrovert, great. That's an opportunity to talk to somebody in line with you if you're there alone. If you're an introvert, use the time as an opportunity to work on your mind. Stand there and work on your mind. Start feeding it intentional thoughts and let them cascade through your body and around you. Use this time, this stressful season, to really benefit you. That stress is there. It is there. It's there, but use it. The cooking, same thing. Time for relationship. Start bringing people in to help you. Don't do all the cooking. If you're having an event, people bring dishes. You bring a dish. I used to put all that pressure on myself to cook every single meal, and I'd be like my tongue hanging out of my mouth by the time the dinner. I'm like, I want to put my head on the table. You guys just go ahead and eat. I'm fine.
Exactly. I've actually been there myself. I was thinking when you were talking, I was out shopping the other day, and yeah, there are long lines and there's a lot of stuff, but there's great decorations. And I was standing in line and looked around and realized how many people had their heads down in their phones. And, it's a little bit of my, I suppose, hobby horse being the age I'm at. But I found myself just sort of exhaling and looking around and being very present with what was going on. And, I'm one of these people that always wonders about people. Like, how are they? Are they happy? Can I send them some good energy? Do they want it? Can I maybe make a change in the energy or the atmosphere of this place simply by exuding a calm energy? And once again, I never suggest that people impose their energy on others. But if you send it out with an intention that if this will help whoever it will help, that it's there for them, because, I do healing work. I just find that it changes it a little bit, especially if I take my own head out of my phone and lift my head and look around. So it's just a suggestion that goes along with what you're saying.
Yeah, that awareness, that's what I hear. That awareness, it makes it so much better. And I know I've been in places where there's a person there that you just love being in their energy. You can't put your hand on it, but boy, doesn't it feel good when that person is around. And it sounds like you're that person.
Yeah.
You come into the space and you just bring this energy with you. And I always say it's cafeteria style. It's not forced on you.
Yep.
If you like it, you can pick it up. If you don't, just leave it there. And but that energy in that space, it makes a difference. And we, because freedom is our birthright, we can be the creator of that energy. We can walk into the space and be that calm breeze.
Yeah.
We can be that in the long lines with the children crying, but there's a beautiful Christmas tree, like you said. I saw an amazing Christmas tree this morning, amazing. And you say to yourself, only during this season. And I always think to myself, boy, the people who did that are so talented. I wish they could come to my house.
Yeah.
But there's this appreciation and gratitude for all the work that goes into creating this festive moment.
Mm-hmm.
Being grateful for that, all the work that the store clerks go through, and they're tired too, but
Mm-hmm.
we all come together and we're all doing our best to create something beautiful in our own way.
I also noticed when I was out and about, and I actually commented to uh, I call them girls, they're young women, that waited on me, the cashiers. They all had a smile, and I know that they're probably instructed to do that, but they all had a smile, which made me smile back. And I really did get to thinking about, what you're talking about today, which is I could come in here with an attitude of, oh, there's so many people and it's so noisy and oh, I just want to get through the crowds, or just okay, I'm just going to be present with this. It's going to take the time it's going to take, and I realize people are on time schedules. But
Hmm.
if we can just relax a little bit and like you say, go to that place inside yourself where you're like, look, I'm free. I'm not a victim here. I can choose how I show up, which is going to make all the difference in the world from the inside out.
From the
Yeah.
inside out. And that's just, it makes all the difference in the world, mostly to you. Mostly because this is all self-love. Everything that we're talking about now, although it's pictured and it's external, but this is how you love yourself during these stressful times.
Mm-hmm.
You take this situation and this is how you interpret it to yourself. This is what you're going to do here. And then the inside of you feels warm and falls in love with you all over again. So, oh my gosh, you do love me. Because you've chosen not to have the storm raging inside of us. You know how that feels.
Mm.
Your heart beats so fast you can't really function. Anger, stress, and you're running on all that cortisol. And before you know it, boom, you got a whole stress storm going on. And then everything's going downhill from the traffic to the girl who waited on you to your home life to the kids. At some point, you stop and you start looking for things to be grateful for, looking for opportunities where we're going to turn this stressful situation, all this pressure, all this responsibility on me, into a relationship team activity.
Mm.
And this is how we're going to get this house clean, right? Because we're going to do this, and and even if your team isn't so motivated,
Yeah.
even if, because I have teenagers.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that question, by the way. You intuited that. Like, what about those teenagers? They're all like,
Yeah.
"Mwah."
I have teenagers who are not motivated by anything until there's some cash or some electronics involved,
Uh-huh,
right?
right.
So, but I still do it, and they're like, oh, and I do it in a mommy fashion, right? It's a demand, but it's a gentle question too, right? So I come at it from that spirit. We're getting ready to decorate the tree because I want to spend some time with you. And I know you're busy. I know you have your college stuff going on, and you get your high school stuff going on, but we just need 2 hours together,
Mhm.
right? And I tell my kids all the time, I said, I know I made that sound like a question because I do that sometime. That's a direct command.
Yeah. Um,
So you have that leisure with children anyway.
I'm thinking as you're talking, because I am bringing this down to real life events. What do we do? So many families are split up or divorced, or there's step kids or step parents, and how do we deal with like a a a, a teenager, like say a stepdaughter or a stepson who doesn't want to be with you? You
Oh
know, yeah,
yeah. Yeah, those are in the age of the blended family, thank goodness for that. But those are real life issues that do occur, and especially when there are teenagers or young minds involved who are so full of wanting what they deserve, a whole family, right?
mm-hmm.
And so the best thing that you can do in that situation is to first honor what they are feeling. They're young people. Honor what they are feeling. They're hurting. It's not so much that they have something against you necessarily, and it may come across as that they absolutely, we know how they talk sometime and
Oh
how we
yeah,
talk sometime,
yeah.
right? It sounds that way, but I challenge you to do something different, to challenge the challenge, to refocus your energy, not to accept behavior that's inappropriate, not that, never do that, but to refocus yourself, to speak what you know is the truth. Oh my goodness, they'd be so I know you'd rather not be here with me this holiday season. I understand that. But I got to tell you, I got to tell you that I'm going to do my best to show you all the love I have for you and the love that I have for either your dad or your mom, whatever the situation is. I'm going to do my best to show you that. But I do understand. I understand. That right there. Don't we all want to be seen and understood?
Oh, yeah. And you're saying something so good because quite often, a step parent will take it personally, right? Instead of
Yeah.
going to the other side, which I just heard you do, which is, wait a minute, this isn't really about me. This is a young mind. This is a teenager. And you're right, just to say to them, I understand. I think that's
Yeah.
huge. And then
Yeah.
whether they're sulky after that or not, you've said it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because so often you don't realize when you've gone a little bit deeper with somebody, especially a teenager, right? Because they're good at camouflaging. They can make everything look like anger, right? Or everything look like sadness. And really, and so we've all been there, and we've all been in that space before. Even when those of us who, if you were in an intact family and all of that, there was always something because we're changing as individuals and we're seeing the world and we're seeing that it's not so rosy and glossy like maybe we thought it was going to be. And I know that we as people, the adults, we also have feelings too. But I guarantee you that you will fall in love with yourself a bit more when you are big and brave enough, because I know you're hurting. It hurts to be perceived in such a way by somebody who's connected to someone that you love. It hurts. It hurts to be. So I know you're hurting. But when you hear those words come out of your mouth, when your ears hear those words come out of your mouth, your inner self is going to fall in love with you and have a bit more confidence in you. And you're going to be able to get through the holiday seasons a little bit easier. You're going to be able to know which boundaries you need to really enforce and which ones that you can expand a little bit during the holiday season. That stuff will happen intuitively as you do the things that need to be done on the surface, that letting the person know that you see them. You see them without judgment, without condemnation, without blame. You see them.
I'm also tying this back into something you said earlier in the show about speak first, speak warmly, and help allay the fear, because the truth is both of you are feeling fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I'm also going to take that to flip it to the other side. Let's say that I'm a mother and my teenage daughter or son has to go spend the holidays with my ex and his new girlfriend or wife, and they don't want to go. And
they don't want to go.
Yeah.
And you don't want them to go.
Right. Exactly. And that would be a really easy place to say some things like, ugh, I don't like her either. Right.
Right.
Or I don't like him either.
Right. To blame your spouse for breaking the family up. If he or she had just done this, we'd still be together as a family.
Right.
And now you're thinking perhaps on the heel, perhaps just to make things even a bit more painful, this child is all you really got. When they go to the ex's place, you're alone for the holidays.
Right.
You haven't been invited anywhere for a number of reasons. You got nothing. So we got to deal with you first. Always you first, because it's from you that you give. You first. And we have to go in that place and say, even though I'm hurt, even though I'm in so much pain from this experience right now, this tangible realness of my life, my child having to go spend the holidays with my ex and his new loving family, and my being alone, even though this hurts and even though I'm in pain, I still love and approve of myself. I still love and accept myself. Then find yourself an activity, whether it's volunteering to serve in a nursing home or a food shelter. Find a way to give during this holiday season. Do not spend your day on that day home alone, waddling in your loneliness. Find a way to give. And I know you probably feel like I've given so much, but find a way in that place to use that energy to use that energy to build into somebody else's life something that's needed. You can do that. You can do that. So when you get that stuff in place for yourself, you honor yourself, you still let yourself know you love them, you find your activity that's going to put you around warm people, because it's just amazing that energy that's there when everybody's volunteering and they're giving, especially this special time of the year. You're going to be paid back in just $1 trillion worth of love and happiness and peace inside when you do that. Then you got that going for yourself. You got your activity plans, you got your self-talk going, and you're in a space you're not happy, but you're manageable. Now you talk to your teenager or your young person and you tell the truth. I wish this wasn't the way it was going to be this holiday season. I wish it wasn't. But I know your dad or your mom, they love you. They love you. And they're so excited that you're going to be there. And I know you'd rather be with me, but I'm good, because they got to know that you're good. They love you.
Yeah.
They love you. And when you hurt, they hurt too. And so if they feel that you can't handle it, then they won't handle it. And remember, they're getting their direction from us, even when they don't look like they're watching. So I'm good. I got plans for this holiday. I can't wait to hear when you come back. And go easy on your step parent.
Yeah.
Go easy. Go easy on them, because they're nervous too. They're nervous too. Go easy on them. When you get in that house, I want you to smile. I want you to speak first. I want you to show the inner parts of you that are so lovely and so divine. And then we'll come back home and we'll have our own holiday the day after, the week after, whenever you get back. We'll do something special together.
This is excellent advice. Absolutely excellent. I believe in kind of setting a new tradition, right? And also not putting the children in the middle of whatever it is that's going on, at the adult level. So many people do that. Yeah. Yeah.
That is so true. And they want to love us, and but we got to be the adults here, and with all of our pain and all of our experience too, because truth of the matter is, we may not have hurt in this way before, but we've experienced and come through a lot more pain than our children have. That's why we're their adults.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we know that we're going to get through it. We know that we're dealing with it and it's hurting us, but we don't want it to permanently have a negative impact on our children.
Right. Yeah, we do want them to grow up as happy and healthy as they can. I have another question for you, and this is a tough one. The holidays are quite often anniversaries of the death of people that we love, because a lot of people exit the planet at this time, right?
Yeah.
And maybe a parent, a spouse, or even a child. And let's say that you don't feel like celebrating, or you're having some trouble with that. Can you give people a little bit of advice how to navigate that?
Yes, and that's a real pain. Speaking on another show earlier this week, and we talked about, there are a lot of things that happen during this time of the season which are not so lovely, and they bring for us very painful experiences. And I first want to say that if you are experiencing pain that is just, you feel insurmountable, and it's something that you cannot get over with this type of advice, and it's that it's got a place, it's got a hold on you. It's got a hold on you. The biggest tribute the biggest loving act that you can do for yourself is to seek out a safe place, a safe person to express yourself to, whether it be clergy, clinical professional help, a trusted family or friends, some place where you can let that out, where you can talk and be heard. And you said at the beginning of the program that I am a pharmacist. So, my full-time gig, I deal in medicine. And I know people feel some sort of way about medicine, but I will say this, that everything that exists on the planet can be used for our good if we need that thing. So if you see a clinician and they say, we'd like to start on some antidepressants or some anti-anxiety medication for a period of time, coupled with not utilized as sole therapy, I'm not a supporter of that. But coupled with some type of clinical outlet, whether it be, like I said, clergy or professional help. So seek that out. If you're in that space, please don't shy away from that, because that is the highest form of self-love that you can give yourself in that space. And then do not suppress.
Yeah. So thank you so much for being on the show. This is Loretta Brown. My guest today has been Dr. Dravon James, and she is the author of Freedom is Your Birthright. And how do they find you, Dravon? Because you do sessions with people too, don't you?
Well, I don't do individual work, but
Okay.
I do workshops, and I do keynote speaking, and I have a radio program that's on every Monday on the Unity online radio program every Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can find out everything you want to know about me and a little bit more on my website, which is www.drdravonjames.com. And it's been an honor and a privilege. My book is on there. You can also find my book, Freedom is Your Birthright, on Amazon. So, and if you want me to come out, you'd love to have me at your organization, please. You can do that on my website, or find out where I am on my website as well.
Fantastic. So thank you so much, Dr. Dravon James, and everybody out there. This is Loretta Brown. Have a wonderful week, and freedom is your birthright. That's right. Talk to you next time.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.